How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord mod spotlight. Today we'll be taking a look at the Age of Woe mod that has recently just been updated to the latest patch of Bannerlord, along with a bunch more content. The mod itself is a Warhammer fantasy overhaul set in the old world, and this is not to be confused with the other Old Realms mod that also has a very similar setting. This is its own completely separate mod, different team, however definitely worth your time checking out. I will mention, however, that this mod isn't as far along in development as that one, so it's still definitely rough around the edges, but has so many awesome redeeming qualities that I recommend you give it a go. And again, of course, I'll leave a link to it over on Nexus Mods down below in the description. Oh, also as well, as we load in, someone did mention in the post section that this is made by a few of the people who worked on the Clash of Kings mod for Warband. I don't know if that's true. I'm just putting it out there. I'm sure you guys can let me know down below in the comments. So here we are. This is the campaign map. Obviously, it's a complete overhaul right here, and as you can see, it is set in the Old Realms. The campaign map itself has definitely come a long way since the previous update. A lot more detail has been thrown into it, a lot more updates to the actual kind of size of it, more factions being added in. Of course, we have all of Bretonia, Astalia, and Talia down here have been implemented, the Border Princes as well, if you want to take a look at them, going all the way up into the Frozen Waste of Norska. There are also Chaos Forces and also Norscan Warriors as well, which are bandits at the moment. I imagine later on it is planned to have them kind of habitate all up here in the north. And we also, of course, have Ongor Raiders as well. This is like their biggest fantasy unit in the game, and that's something that you'll find out with this mod is very much kind of like a more grounded Warhammer fantasy. A lot of the armors that you'll be seeing in this are kind of more medieval, like more Game of Thrones fantasy rather than Warhammer fantasy, if that makes sense. So if you're looking for a bit more of like a, I guess, kind of grittier, more medieval style mod, this is definitely one for you. The mod also does use a ton of armors from like open source armory, so you will also notice there is also obviously tons of fancy armors, as you guys can see right there. However, you will be kind of playing the game and be like, oh yeah, I remember that's from vanilla, or oh yeah, okay, that's from open source armory, which definitely is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. If it goes ahead and enables them to get more of the mod completed in that time, then they can come back and add in more of that fancy element. The Empire, however, are one of those factions that actually has a lot of their content already in their entire unit tree, as you guys can see, going from the Empire Recruit down into the Handgunner, the Halberdier, and the Outrider. All of these do have custom breastplates, and they do look really, really cool. Again, a nice little addition right there. There are also plenty of different sets, which I always appreciate people adding in, as it just makes more variety in the battles, and again, allows you to keep on playing the same campaign and enjoy it yourself. And as I mentioned, with it being more of like a medieval kind of themed, I don't know, it's hard to like put it into words exactly what I mean by that, but you can kind of start to see a lot more of like these medieval tunics and stuff make their way into it, rather than creating something a little bit more fantasy-esque. And I like it. I like this different style. And again, we don't want another Old Realms mod. We want something different to compare it against. So again, I just want to make that very, very clear. Another thing I really do like about these armors as well is like the actual Empire Knights as well look great. I love this lance that they have for the Empire Noble unit. I think they look really cool. And something you'll notice as well is that we also have a lot of horse armors for the Empire soldiers as well. And I love, if you guys can just about see that horse armor right there on the side with the banners on, I think that looks really, really good. So that's going to be the Empire roster. Again, makes up the majority of the central parts of them. I don't think there's any specific units for like Avalheim. I don't think there's any Knights of the Blazing Sun or, you know, or anything like that for these guys right now. They do just kind of share the same roster. I'm sure later on down the line, they will look to go ahead and implement different factions. You also see as well that the campaign map is still, you know, a work in progress. There's no like roads, and a lot of the detail just isn't there. However, as I said, it has come a long way, and it does look really nice. If we make our way over to Talia, again, they're going to have much more of a traditional medieval kind of armor set. There are custom weapons, as you guys can see, for these guys, but a lot of this stuff, I believe, is just from open source armory with some additions from the mod developers for these higher tiers. Again, no complaints there whatsoever. I think they look great. And again, we do also have kind of their custom Spanish-esque arbalesques, warriors, and things like that, along with their crossbows. Again, crossbows feel very vanilla. Again, nothing wrong with that, just kind of making it kind of clear, and you can kind of see the theme that they are going for with these. So I imagine, you know, that will kind of follow this theme later on down the line. But again, if there's a decent breastplate to be used, there's no reason not to use that. We also have the border princes as well, and again, their roster is going to be kind of very medieval-esque with their warriors. Again, you guys can see a nice little glimpse of their roster and what you'll be using if you do dive into them. Again, some pretty decent soldiers right there. Again, I like the kind of breastplates that we do have access to. I think that looks great, and they do look great in battle as well. This guy has a gut and a half. He's using bloody Robert Baratheon's breastplate stretcher, I think, but still you guys can see them. So some heavily armored units. Showing here again is another cool faction. They do have a lot of vanilla assets still in their units, but for the peasants I think is absolutely fine. They have a bunch of really cool custom shields as well that are scattered around, especially these battle pilgrims. I think these guys are great. We've done a good job with them. And of course, the main focus of Bretonnia is always going to be in their elite knights, right? So obviously having like very strong cavalry is always going to be their main focus. So we take a look at them cavalry. You can see we start off with the Bretonnian squires, and we make our way all the way up to the knights errant. We go to the knights of the realm. Of course, we have the chivalric knights, and again, I love what they've done with these lances. I think they're really good. All the different customization as well. I love the horse campesins as well as the helmets. Great, they've really done a top job there. And again, we then got with the royal knights right at the end. Tons of custom abilities. Again, the lances are great, and everything else is cool. The other units that we'll be seeing maybe in battle, if I jump into it, you can again see a few of the different armors right here as we go in here. And this is one of the, as I said, god damn, he's thick, man. We have some beastigors. A lot of the beastmen are really well done, and I love what they've done with them. I think they look incredible. Again, the armors, and there's obviously several different variants of them as well. But there's a handful of them. We also have a few custom soldiers. I did mention that there's not tons of there's not like knights of, they are actually knights of the blazing sword. Okay, I must have missed these guys. So these guys are actually in the mod. I don't know how you actually recruit them. So they do actually have regiments of renown. Okay, cool, nice. I actually did not notice that until now, but there are a handful again to mess around with, which is cool. Maybe you get them from the tavern, as it don't seem like they're the noble unit for that specific unit what's there. But yeah, you have some really cool units. Again, you guys can take a look at some of the cool custom shields as well there for Talia. But yeah, Chaos is also another faction. I mean, just look how awesome that shield looks, man. They've done such a good job with the detail right there. I love as well the actual kind of disease on the horse as well. That adds a lot, I think, to the Chaos forces. So yeah, a lot of these Marauder units, again, these guys are much larger than just for your average human. You also have magic in the mod as well. We'll get onto that in a second. But yeah, the Chaos Marauders and stuff, again, there's a lot of cool custom assets in there if you want to mess around with them. And look at that handgun as well. My lord, it's big. Oh yeah, another faction as well I didn't touch on is we do actually have Kislev in the mod as well. Again, they're using a lot more of like kind of vanilla open source armory, the gear armor style armors. But again, this is some of their winged lancers. Again, I love obviously the winged Tazar. Wings on the back of a soldier look really good. And again, you're gonna kind of see just like heavily armored kind of Sturgian style soldiers. But it really fits the theme. And again, you can definitely dive in. These blade masters, I'm sure, will be getting stuck in. Again, more chaos knights. Again, I think they've done a great job with the look of the chaos knights. I love the armors, the horse armors as well. Look really nice. And there's several different variants as well. Again, the Nurgle warriors. Again, that shield, man. Oh, they've done such a great job with the shield. One last thing as well. I just wanted to show off a few of the shields for the Bretonnian knights. Again, I think they look really good. They've obviously put a lot of work into that, and it definitely does show. Again, you can see some more of the horse armor as well. So overall, there's a really nice addition. There's plenty of units to explore, mess around with, and you can definitely forge yourself a pretty decent army. So on top of all of that, there are also tons of different pieces of armor as well that you can pick up and mess around with. You can see I'm sporting a whole mix of different armors right there. I've got a chaos helmet on, I guess more of a Talian breastplate with a really cool cape on the back. But also magic is in the mod, and it's done through the scepters, and it's done through these books of secrets, which basically just give you like ammunition to shoot out. As I mentioned as well, there's tons of different other bits of equipment that again you can armor up and mess around with. I'm definitely a huge fan of a lot of these horse armors. Again, the detail put into them, and I think this is like again something that gets neglected in a handful of mods. But again, just seeing this armor, it just looks really good and adds a lot. Again, you have a lot more of the chaos armors as well as the empire armors for the horses. But let's quickly go up here, and I guess we'll find a nice little battle with some of the chaos warriors, and then I'll show you a bit more about what the units actually look like. I've got myself, yes, we've got some Norscan marauders right here. There's 10 of them right there. Let's dive in here. Again, they look awesome. They've done a great job with the look of these guys for sure. So as we make our way up here, you guys can see some of the soldiers. So again, I've got a lot of these battle pilgrims on my front line. Again, they look really, really awesome. I think we've done a great job there with the armors. And then of course my Knights of the Realm, all different sizes. Again, the Lancers are very, very cool. The detail on these bad boys are awesome. They've done a great job with a lot of the armors. The horse armors also look incredible. And then we also have our magic. So if we go over here, you can see, so this is the scepter. It has 30 shots and it does just shoot off. I think I'm using like electric bolts right now, doing some incredible damage as well. Is it actually different bolts every time? I wonder. Oh no, it's the same bolt every single time, but as you guys can see, it does do some really big damage. And I'm also not sure if these are custom maps as well, but they do look really, really good. So we'll just charge everybody in, let the Lancers do their thing. We'll pick off some of our shots as well. Yeah, so is it just the first one that's like that? And then it changes to, yeah, it changes that color. Again, you can see the Bretonnian Knights just ripping through the poor Norskans. But again, they look really cool. I like the armor of them. And yeah, they do look good. But yeah, this magic is definitely going to be OP. I would definitely love to see them add in more custom magic as well into the mod, like a different skill for magic, being able to upgrade it and just giving more value to it would be cool. You know, not allowing you just to basically do it. The battle pilgrims moving in as well. I love this aura as well. I'm not sure if they've added this aura to the snow, but I think like it looks really good, like the dark mist moving in up here in the Chaos Waste. So next, I found myself a pretty large group of beastmen here as well. And we can see what the beastmen look like. They're like the main kind of baddies, I guess, in quotation marks on the map. I haven't really seen too much chaos, like large stacks of chaos, but I'm sure they are. And of course, you can be fighting in the forests as well. I know for a fact that this is a vanilla map right here. But yeah, let's just take the cavalry. Let's just charge in for honor and glory. See what we can do against the Bray Herds. Again, this is not a great map for our Bretonnian Knights, but I'm sure we find. Oh, look at that one as well. That's like a candle, that lance. That looks, yeah, amazing. Let's make our way further forward, and then we'll see the big stack of Bray Herds as we just hit into here. So again, here are going to be the beastmen. You can see just big warriors. There's some small ungors, and then you've got the larger ones as well. Several different types of weapons as well, which are always pretty interesting. There's, yeah, big bulky warriors. Again, going to be doing lots of damage as the Bretonnian Knights come flying in. And I imagine magic will be very, very important as well, just to be, you know, utilizing your spells. I mean, magic is pretty OP in the majority of these. So yeah, we can just like fire off our shots, especially as they close up as well, and just do so much damage to them. Yep, look at that. Look at the damage that this magic does. It hits like through like 3 or 4 people as I just hit friendly units, and it has 30 charges as well. But yeah, you can just go around and zap him, man. Yeah, that is too much fun. It really is. Because unlike the old realms, you actually have like just 30 charges rather than a winds of magic to have to worry about, which is always pretty interesting. But yeah, our cavalry's going to break these guys down. Again, I have just grabbed some of the strongest horses in the entire game. I imagine if you're working more with like a melee-based army, you're definitely going to be struggling a little bit more to bring these guys down. There we have it. That is going to be the Age of Woe mod that has recently just been updated. Definitely worth your time checking out. It's still very much a work in progress mod, a mod that has a long way to go, but has a really solid foundation. I'm excited to see them add more stuff to it. Of course, we're all looking forward to when a mod adds in dwarf, orcs, and other creatures along them lines. That's going to be really cool. But for now, we are going to be stuck with the humans, the chaos forces, and of course the beastmen, which we literally just saw. Let me know what you guys thought of this mod down below in the comments. If there's any other mods you want to see me check out, obviously let me know as well. Drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe for more Bannerlord content. I'll see you guys in the next one.